Hello, everyone. It's time for Vanished Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Costanas. This is episode 272, season 11. Today's date is November 4th, 2023, and welcome to the program. On today's program, I will talk about Henrici's restaurant. I hope I pronounced that right. And that was in Chicago, and they had other locations. I will talk about its history and its locations, and also have a menu. I will describe what type of food they served. Also, I talk about my memories of Clark Gum. That was from the Clark Gum Company. They were responsible for making the Clark Tea-Berry gum. I'll talk about that in detail. And right now, the program will go into a commercial break. And this program is brought to you by Banner Toilet Tissue. I remember this. And this is from 1983. And so sit back and relax, and I'll be right back with the program, folks. Thank you.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Who are you?
I'm New Banner Toilet Tissue, and you're going to love me.
Nobody loves toilet paper.
Oh, but you'll love me, because I'm a soft touch.
Hey, you are
Wee.
soft.
Oh, feels fluffy.
What did I tell you? I've got a softness you'll love to touch.
Oh, nice.
Yep, and look, I earned the Good Housekeeping seal.
Hey, Wilma, you gotta touch this New Banner.
I'm New Banner. You know, the soft touch. Go ahead, touch.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Banner Toilet Tissue. It's a roll of toilet paper. It's a guy. It's a person. It's somebody's voice. And it's got eyes and a mouth he uses in the middle. I remember this toilet tissue, and they advertised it for a few years. And then I didn't find much information about it, like what company made it, or when it started, or when it ended. All I know, it aired in the mid '80s. I guess it was short lived. So there was competition. Of course, we have number one is Charmin. Second is, I believe, White Cloud, and they have that. I can't think of any other on top of my head. There was Northern. Yeah, remember that with the colors? With the pretty colors like that. That was in the 70s. I don't think they make that anymore. Scott Towels. Or Scott Tissue. Yeah, they had Scott Tissue. That's still around. Forgot about that. That's an older one. And so, like I said, this commercial was very memorable because it's funny because it spoke to you. When you do animated commercials, that's what they do. It's kind of entertaining, sometimes foolish, sometimes fun. It depends on the person. Okay. At the beginning of the program, I talk about. At the beginning of the program. Excuse me. I will talk about. On the program. I will say. I'm so nervous. This is terrible. At the beginning of the program, I mentioned I'm going to talk about Henrici's restaurant in Chicago. And then I will talk about my memories of Clark Gum, from the Clark Gum Company. I used to chew this gum when I was a kid. Before I get started, I'll mention a couple things. This past Monday, I went to see my regular doctor. I took a physical. Blood pressure's good. Cholesterol's fine. I got my flu shot. Everything's okay. I talked to him. The funny thing is, I weighed myself, and then, according to the scale, when you go to a doctor's scale, you just you just hop on for a second, and then they read you, and then you hop back on. You don't even stand still for like about a half a minute, but it's like boop, boop, that's it. And it looked like I gained 5 pounds, and I don't believe that's true. So when I saw the doctor, and I told him, how can that be? I've lost weight. I feel skinny. He goes, don't worry about it. You're okay. He says, you look thin. You look like you lost weight. And he asked me, how do you do it? And I said, I eat less. I have 3 meals a day. I do have dessert, not all the time. I just treat as a treat. I have a good dinner. I try to avoid bread as much as possible. Well, not last night. I had a salad, so I had some bread. So, but not frequently, But the worst part is at night when I take some medication, my stomach's empty. I have to eat something because I can't sleep. So I have to eat a snack like a cookie or, a piece of bread or something like that. And that helps, but he said that's fine. As long as you don't snack too much, avoid the snacking. That's the worst, He said the keys are moderation, do some exercise. I haven't been walking in a while because it's cold. So, but I do keep myself busy and drinks a lot of water. I've been doing that. And he says, I think that's what contributed it, take it slow. I asked him about like weight loss programs. I know a few people that are on it and a couple of friends. And he told me, he strongly advised me, no, don't do it. It'll work at first, but then you'll gain it back. You'll gain it back because it doesn't last long. So most people don't stick to it, because it's tough. It really tough. If I enrolled in one, I wouldn't last. No, I'm too weak. I'm not a stickler. It's too tough like that. I asked him if I should get the COVID booster. He said yes, because you're a cancer patient, and you're vulnerable. So you got to protect yourself. And I said, okay, but you got to wait about a week or two to get it of the COVID booster. And I said, okay, I will wait. And then I got the results Tuesday, by email. Everything looks fine. My calcium was a little elevated still because I just resumed the Xtandi. I've been waiting for a month and a half to receive because of some goofy insurance thing. So I'm not tired anymore, but I get a little shortness of breath sometimes, but it's weird. So side effects. That's it. But I feel fine, and I'm very happy, because I feel good. I really do. And I feel weird because I feel so skinny and you get like a little dizzying because the weight is coming off slowly and you're like, it's like that. So that's good news. I posted on social media and to let everyone know, everyone was concerned and everyone's happy. Then what else? So I will see my urologist on November 29th, right after Thanksgiving. Let's see what he says. I'm going to take a blood test before to see how the PSA. My regular doctor couldn't see the PSA, so he didn't say anything bad. So I assume it's okay. It's not elevated. He doesn't know much about that. I have to talk to my urologist. So we'll see. Another thing I want to mention is when I posted this, I didn't want to do it, but I felt I had to because someone mentioned, why are you posting this, and he was swearing and me, and he was just like, nobody wants to hear about about your cancer or and all that. But I happen to be the admin of Van Chicagoland, with the group and the page, But that was kind of rude. He thinks it's not going to happen to him, which is not true. Prostate cancer will affect some men down the road, because as you age, you have problems, like it being enlarged and all kinds of weird stuff. So you have to go. So I told people, just go. If you feel strange, kind of weird, go see your doctor immediately, and he will take care of it. Most of the time, it's not cancer. It could be an infection or an enlarged prostate, that could be treated, with pills or medication, which is fine. I have a friend of mine has that problem. So far, he's doing okay. Thank God. He doesn't have cancer. Ooh, no. So don't think it won't happen to you. Oh no, I didn't think so. I didn't think it would happen to me, but surely enough, it did, and that was shocking, devastating. I wish no one would get this, what I had. No. Nobody. I don't want that to happen. Okay. All right, so now back to the fun stuff. Sorry to sound depressing, but well, I feel good talking about it. Okay. I'm going to talk about Henrici's restaurant. This restaurant has been largely forgotten, but when I posted this on my social media accounts, a lot of people still remember it when they were small, or their parents talked about it, or their grandparents, and they said it was a wonderful place. It was labeled the world's greatest restaurant. When I started in Chicagoland, I used to see pictures of it, hear about it. Even when I was little, I heard people mention about this place, so I never gave it a second thought. So I figured, why don't I talk about it? And this was very, very old, and it started long, long, long time ago, over like 100 years. So I'll give you a history of the place, and tell you. I have a menu. I'll tell you what they served. Not all the items, just basic stuff like that. So I found it very interesting. Fascinating. Not to mention fascinating about this. Okay, so here we go. Let's get started. And it started by a man. His name was Philip Henrici. He was an immigrant from Austria. And let's see what we got. He ran away from Austria, and he ran to New York first, and he was a baker's apprentice. And that was in 1845. Then he moved away, and then he came to Chicago in 1868. And he opened his own lunch counter. And his Viennese-style pastries that he served, and they were wonderful. They were awesome. Then he opened. Then he opened his first restaurant. There were several locations, but there was the Chicago Fire that happened in 1871. So let's see. So first it was at Madison and State Street, where Marshall Fields is right now, which is Macy's. And then he moved temporarily to 215 West Madison Street. And then he went to another location at 175 East Madison. That's like probably around Michigan Avenue. And then he moved to 71, or is it 67-71 West Randolph. That's where he went. That's where it remained until it closed like that. And it was a big hit around the where they had the what's that called, the Columbia Expositions. That thing that happened on the way over there by Hyde Park. When I think of it, I'll tell you. I'm just tongue tied like that. And like I said, it was billed itself as the Chicago's most famous restaurant, and it was a big hit. And if you were downtown, if you like to have a nice meal or pick up some coffee or have a nice dessert, it's great. One of the famous desserts was their coffee cake, and it was served. The coffee cake was served with coffee and with a pitcher of whipped cream on the side. Now that is bizarre. I never had whipped cream with coffee. Well, now you do, of course. You go to Starbucks and have that. They must have gotten that. I don't know. I don't know if because Starbucks is from Seattle. I don't know if they got that idea from them. No, I don't know. So they also advertise Henricis as no orchestra din, which I believe in German means no live music. I never knew that. That's kind of interesting, like that. And so I must have been quiet. I mean, the only noise you would hear was people gabbing. That's what, like that. And it was very elegant with the white tablecloths and the architecture inside. The decor was beautiful with the white tiles, like that. Looked like a checkerboard. And very pretty place. It was reasonably priced, but very fancy at the same time, which made the big hit like that. And then so the place closed in 1962. There's some photos on the internet showing they had showing this is the last day, we are closing, and people were lined up around the block, trying to get a table. I'm sure they made reservations, but it was like it was nuts like that. So the reason they closed is they tore it down with some other businesses on Randolph, and the Richard J. Daley Center was built. Okay. But the other locations survive after that, and I have the locations right right here with me, and I'll tell you right now where they were located. And I found that interesting. So there was one in Merchandise Mart. Folks, I don't know how long they stayed there. Probably around the late 70s, early 80s. It depended where. So I don't know. I know they opened one in St. Louis, Missouri, and also in West Lafayette, Indiana. It's at hotels. Probably that's near Purdue, I think. I think that's where it was. Okay. So it opened one at the Ramada O'Hare at the time. It was in Des Plaines. Also one in Rockford at the Clock Tower Inn. Another famous location was in Oak Brook. A lot of people have mentioned this yesterday and the day before. That was very popular, very nice, very elegant. I wish I could find a picture of that. I'd like to see it. And they said it was great. It was delicious. The food was delicious, that is. Also, it was I didn't know this. This was in, excuse me, at the Holiday Inn in Fort City, at the Fort City Shopping Center. Well, I had no idea. I was so oblivious that they had a restaurant there because I used to live around that area. Also, there was one in Park Forest. Some of the restaurants were called Henrici's Steak and Lobster. Also, on Park Forest, it was located on West Lincoln Highway. There was one in Arlington Heights at 2375 South Arlington Heights Road. Also, it was in Northbrook at Skokie Boulevard. 445 Skokie Boulevard, that is. They also had one in the River North area, 340 East Ohio. I didn't know that. And they also had one in Niles at 5960 at Toohey Avenue. So I guess it was the same as the one downtown, but the one downtown in the Loop was very famous of that. Okay. So that's very good. Right now, I'll take a break, and then when I come back, I will read the menu. And then after that, I will talk about the Clark Gump Company. So excuse the coughing. Sorry. I had something in my throat. Didn't mean to scare everyone. So, yes. So when I come back, I'll talk about the menu and the Clark Gump Company. Thank you.
Flex your business with an American Express Business Gold Card. You'll earn 4 times membership rewards points on your top 2 eligible spending categories, like transit and electronics, each month, on up to $150K in combined purchases per year. Plus, you can now earn 3 times membership rewards points on flights and prepaid hotels booked on AmexTravel.com. Terms and points cap apply. Learn more at AmericanExpress.com/business-gold. Amex Business Gold, built for business by American Express.
Okay, everyone, I am back. Right now, I'm going to read off the menu from Henrici's restaurant. This is a luncheon restaurant, and the usual, like every nice restaurant, sandwiches, soups. Let's see. For example, I'm trying to find something unusual. Let's see. For example, they had a Holland ham on rye. I never heard of that. And Henrinci's club sandwich on toast with a dill pickle. Ooh, that sounds good. Like that. They had appetizers like fresh crab meat cocktail, fruit cocktails, sauerkraut juice. Sauerkraut juice. Oh my God, who would drink sauerkraut juice? Marinated herring. Oh, that's bizarre. I'll get to the desserts in a moment. Let's see. Soups, they had consomme with chicken giblets and rice. Oh, that sounds good. Puree of potato a la Jackson. I don't know what that kind of soup it was, but it sounds good. They also had matzo ball soup. Oh, I love matzo ball soup. Clam chowder, onion soup au gratin. I like that. Bouillon and egg. Like that. Okay, their lunch specials were like baked chicken leg with mushroom sauce, mashed potatoes, and coleslaw. Chopped steak, with onion sauce, French fried potatoes and green beans, and French toast with stewed prunes. I think that's the diet one. But other items they had fresh brisket of beef. That sounds good. Whitefish. Roast sirloin. Everything was served with mashed potatoes, or you had a salad. Pork tenderloin, breaded. They had a special salad bowl with julienne and ham and Swiss cheese. Ooh, that sounds good. They had cheese blintzes with sour cream. They had prime rib. A lot of people mentioned that, and you can make a sandwich about that. They also an item called Imperial Salad Bowl. It was a mixed salad with white meat of chicken, crisp bacon, Roquefort cheese dressing. I haven't had Roquefort in a long time. I don't see it much. And let's see what else. They also had their special pancakes. One is like is a special pancake. Apple pancake, blueberry, French pancakes with currant jelly, potato pancakes. So that was and I mentioned the salads, but they also had like fruit salad or like that. Let's see. So I will get to the desserts right now. Let's see, just a moment, please. because they had their own bakery there. And it was in house. They made them in there. They had pies, like apple pie. Funny. They serve it with cheese. That's a New England thing. That's like an out east. I never had cheese with apple pie. I have alamo, ice cream. That's much better. But yeah, they serve cheese. Never tried it like that. They had torts, pound cake. Let's see what else they had. Ice cream, of course, and of course, yeah, they had all kinds of ice creams. You could make sundaes and all that. Oh, that sounds wonderful. Also, it was famous for their coffee cake. Yeah, their coffee cake. Their coffee cake was delicious. You can find the recipe of the coffee cake on WTTW.com. If you do a search for Henrici's restaurant, the host Jeffrey Bear was interviewed by Phil Ponce, and he talked a little bit about the restaurant. He remember going there, not the one downtown, but the one up in Northbrook. I think it was Northbrook. And he mentioned about the coffee cake, and the recipe is listed. So if you're interested in making it, or if you just want to look at it, it's there. I don't know how he obtained that. So that's great. Okay, let's see what else. They also have a bar there too. Ordered like drinks and kind of crazy cocktails like that. Other soups they had was Boston clam chowder. They entrees they had is halibut steak, spaghetti with mushrooms. It's called spaghetti with mushrooms on casserole, baked veal loaf with tomato sauce, with endive salad and mashed potatoes. They had cream codfish flakes on toast. Oh, that sounds interesting. And smoked kippered herring, if you like fish. Yeah. Like that. So it's funny like that. They had all kinds of seafood. They really did. And if you like oysters or clams or, haddock. Let's see what else. Let's see what they had. Like I mentioned, they had the pancakes. Was apple, blueberry. All that. He served fritters, rice fritters, vegetables. Yeah, pretty much. I covered all that. But it's also the special coffee cake. A lot of people love that coffee cake. Like I said before, you can find it on that website I just mentioned. Okay. All righty. So, it's a shame that I did not go to this place, because it sounded wonderful, but it closed in 1962. I wasn't born yet. I was born a year later. I even asked my mom. She doesn't remember because she came the same year in America. She had no idea. No idea at all. So, I wish my father was alive. I could ask him, but he probably wouldn't know. But it's great that people remember this place. It's good. It's a wonderful part of Chicago history, where you have wonderful restaurants in the Loop. We can go inside, get away from the hustle and the bustle, and just sit down and relax and order a nice meal and just enjoy it. These days you can, but everything's rush, 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 rush. And there are not that many in the Loop now. Some are fewer remaining, like Berghoff's. That's still there, thank God. Or Miller's Pub. So that's good. I haven't been to Miller's Pub in ages. I got to go one day if if I go downtown. So I'm glad I talked about this subject. Okay, that's good. Right now, I'll talk about the Clark Gum Company. I'll give you a little history of this. And this was called the D.L. Clark Company. And it was not founded in Chicago. It was founded in Allegheny, Pennsylvania. Now it's Pittsburgh, and that was founded in 1886, and it was founded by a man. His name was David L. Clark, and he was from Ireland, and he came over here to the U.S. And then I think he probably worked with his brother. I guess he did, and then they sold it to Beecher's Foods later on, and they have production facilities in not just Pittsburgh but in Evanston, Illinois. And then Beecher's Foods sold it in 1983 to the Leaf company. Remember Leaf candy? And then and they also made the Clark candy bars like that. So I'll give you an example. They made the bun. Remember the bun candy bars? You know, they used to advertise that. I remember in Bozo Circus, they used to advertise that. I remember Ringmaster Ned holding a bun candy bar, and just, he did that. I don't know if Ray Raider did. Maybe. All I remember is him. And there were other kinds. There was a Clark bar, the original. It came in coconut, mint, coconut frosted. Let's see what else. There were all kinds, but I won't go. I won't go in more detail. I'll go into. I'll talk about the gum, but the one last candy bar they made was the Zagnut. Remember that? I think it's still around. Yeah, still around. So the gum was a big hit. Had these are the flavors they had, and I'll read them off, and maybe it'll ring a bell, and I'll tell you. So the flavors were cinnamon. This sort of whitens your teeth, according to the advertising. Cinnamon, just regular. Diet spearmint, which I think it's probably sugar-free, like Carefree sugar-free gum, sugarless gum, that is. Fresh mint, fruit punch, which was, I posted that photo with the super stick. The super sticks came in, I think, cinnamon and fruit punch. And that's caught my eye when I was a child. I'll get into that in a second. Also, there was peppermint. There was Smile, sugar-free, came in various flavors. There was sour ones. There was sour cherry, sour lemon, sweetwood, tendermint, wintergreen, and of course, the famous one is tea berry. And the tea berry brand, that was purchased from a man. His name was Charles Burke, and he purchased the patent from the man, and then so that's the most famous one of all. Now, the flavor of tea berry is, I had to look this up, that it's sort of like a spicy, it was spicy, but it was like a wintergreen flavor. Very interesting. I tried it long time ago, and it was bizarre. I mean, for a kid, you wouldn't like something sweet and fruity like that, but tea, it was interesting. But now when you're an adult, you would accept it, and it would taste fine. So that's good to know. And let's see. So this gum was introduced to 1900, and then so an advertising agency in New York produced a series of commercials, and they call it the Tea Berry Shuffle. Excuse me, and that was based on from a song called "The Mexican Shuffle" from Herb Albert and the Tijuana Brass Band, and he's a wonderful musician. I love his music. I think he's still performing. I don't know, but his songs are great, and they were big hits in the '60s, '70s, and '80s. And that's from the album South of the Border. If you get the album or like download it, you'll hear that. And what's unusual, what's great about this, it was the packaging was like pink and white, and it had that Clark logo on it. And it would advertise like for 25 cents, you get 5 sticks. Well, I'm talking about back then. So the flavor, uh, it's Eastern tea berry or like that, and it's called Gaultheria procumbens. Can't pronounce it. Oh, it's awful. It really is. Okay. Right now, I'm going to play a commercial for Clark Gums from 1967, and it features that song, the T-Berry Shuffle, and you hear the music from Herb Alberts and the Tijuana Brass. I guess they asked him permission to get that. I hope he got royalties on this. So, and they were fun. I remember seeing the commercials on TV, when I was very, very little. So here is the commercial for Clark Gum from 1967. And then when I come back, I'll do a wrap up of the show. Thank you, everyone.
Clark gives you something more than just another stick of gum. Get something more. Get the 3 Footloose flavors from Clark.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Clark Gum, especially Clark Tea-Berry Gum. And they did the Clark Tea-Berry Shuffle. When you go, there are a few on YouTube, so you can see for yourself. And they do that shuffle. It's kind of funny. My memories of this gum, of course, I tried them, and I tried a couple when I was very little. It was the packaging, it was so colorful with the blue and the white, and especially the fruit. The fruit punch one, there was one commercial. I can't find it on YouTube, and it was there were these two kids, and they were just standing around, and they heard this car horn, and it would go beep beep, and there was a clown in an old fashioned car, and the kids yelling, "Look, it's Clarky the Clown!" And then he brought out the huge one. The super stick, excuse me. He brought the super stick, and he advertised the fruit punch, and he advertised Clark Gum. I can't find out. I wish I could find it. I can't. So, and that aired in the mid '70s. When I was growing up, and then they disappeared. I read somewhere it's still the Tea-Berry Gum is still being manufactured, but not in the United States. I don't think so. Probably in other overseas, and I think it's being made in Mexico, I believe, and it's sold in Africa or Asia. I don't know the details, but I don't see it in Chicago. Maybe you can order online. You could try. I haven't seen it. So that's an interesting product. Also a very interesting product of me seeing that as a child. Because when you're little, you see different colors and all that. It's fascinating. With the packaging and all that. Just like I mentioned. Okay. That's it for the show. The recap of what I said. I talk about Henrici's restaurant in Chicago and my memories of the Clark Gum Company. This podcast will be published later on today, and it'll be available wherever podcasts are going to be available. Excuse me. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Overcast, Breaker. Also, it'll be on my blog, VanChicagoland.blog. Also, it'll be on my YouTube channel, Van Chicagoland Stories. People still ask me, where do I find your podcast? You could find it on YouTube. You do a search, and it'll take you right there. Hit the subscribe button, even on all the apps I mentioned, and you'll be notified for a new episode. Or you can listen to previous episodes if you like. That's the easiest way to listen to my podcast is YouTube. Also be posted on my social media accounts, Facebook, X, formerly Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and Reddit. Okay. So that was fun. So that's, sorry folks, it went a little long as usual. On the next podcast episode, I won't do one tomorrow. Probably not. Maybe. It depends. But for Tuesday, no, because I have plans. I have to go somewhere. So if I don't do one tomorrow, it'll probably be next weekend. I might surprise you. Maybe I'll have one tomorrow. We'll see. It depends. Okay. So this is Pete Costanis, your host of Van Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. Thank you for joining me. Today is a nice day. It's nice and sunny. A little cool. It's November, but it's not snowing. Thank God. So it just looks lovely. It really does. So everyone have a great weekend. Here's bye-bye for me, and here is Ray Rayner with a little traveling music saying bye, bye, bye. Take care, everyone, and so long.
We have to go. Bye, bye, bye.